Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into the wonderful world of summer gardening and how it can be an incredible tool for stress reduction and self-care. I'm Jessica Young, and if you're new here, I love exploring the intersection of art, mental health, and nature. Summer is the perfect time to get your hands a little dirty and connect with the earth. And gardening isn't just about beautiful blooms. You don't need to have a full cut flower garden to benefit from what gardening has to offer for your mental and emotional health. You can have a small plant in your home by a window. You can have a garden that you visit and tend to in the community. Whatever your garden is counts, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It took me years to get to a point where I had a garden like this, and I used to think I couldn't even keep a houseplant alive. And now here I am in a full-blown cut garden that I take care of almost every day. Gardening is a therapeutic practice that offers so many benefits for your mental and physical health. Studies show that spending time in nature can significantly reduce cortisol, the stress hormone. The simple act of digging, planting, and nurturing can be incredibly meditative. Gardening encourages you to be present and in the moment, focusing on the details of your plants, the feeling of the soil, and the sounds of nature can ground you and calm your mind. When I first started my garden, my first garden 10 years ago in a rental that we had, it was a small little backyard that was shared, but I was determined to grow some flowers of my own. And I remember I just kind of said, okay, let's put up a fence for critters. I think I might have Googled a few things. I'm not really even sure. But I bought some seeds and I threw them in the ground and I got flowers, but I got mostly weeds. And I only knew about cutting flowers once. So it was kind of like I took all this time and worry to get this garden going. Wasn't really much time and effort then, but it felt like it was, and more effort in worrying that I wasn't going to get any flowers. And just to have flowers once, like it felt so ridiculous that I would do that and then just to cut my flowers once, or to not want to cut them at all, because when you have a flower garden, you don't want to cut those flowers. But what I've learned through learning more about the process of growing flowers is that you can have flowers all summer long, and I can do a whole new video about pinching and growing flowers to continuously cut them so that all summer long you're just continuously cutting yourself bouquets. And you really only need, to be completely honest with you, you really only need one pack of seeds. One pack of seeds, and you can manage to maybe 2 packs of seeds, depending on the type, and I can tell you what types I recommend. And you can have flowers all summer long. And in terms of your mental health, I don't know about you, but there's nothing like going to the farmer's market and getting a bouquet of flowers. And sometimes we don't have access to that farmer's market, or, whatever the case may be. And so having that flower garden in your backyard just becomes a automatic place you can go to tend to you. And in terms of physical activity, if you're trying to move your body more, but you hate running like me, and you hate the gym like me, then gardening is a great way to get exercise without even realizing it. When you're digging and you're weeding and you're hauling, you get your heart rate up and your muscles are working. My most fit summer was when we first moved into this house in 2020, and we were digging up all of the weeds in the garden. My arms and my back, I was like, girl, are you lifting weights? And no, I was just gardening a lot. And once you get good at it, which takes some trial and error, dead plants, forgotten plants, underwatered plants, it's a process. I had to start with a couple of house plants and then built up to a lot of house plants, and then eventually got a home where I could have a garden outside, so it's a process, and it's a slow one, and it's okay if you're very, very early in that process. But when you watch your garden grow and flourish, it gives you a sense of accomplishment and pride. And it's honestly, just such a tangible reminder of your hard work and your dedication. And when you've been through mental health stuff or life has been hard, to just have that one win. And I know sometimes I come out and the garden's not looking great. I mean, one year my garden got completely demolished while we were away for a weekend. This was last year, actually, at the end of the summer. My husband did not stake up the flowers the way he was supposed to after asking a couple of times. Thanks, Kai. And we had a really bad windstorm. And so my really tall blooms that I had been pinching all summer blew over and were completely destroyed. And so there are those heartbreaking moments, but those are also lessons. And it's very much reflective of how life goes, and that sometimes things are good, sometimes things are not so good, but it's more about staying in that middle ground no matter what, and knowing that it's inevitable that things will change, right? And just like your plants, you need to stay hydrated. So, bringing a water bottle with you while you're gardening, having that with you, maybe taking the hose and turning it on yourself so that you can fill up and stay hydrated. It's amazing how much we underestimate the impact that not enough water has on our body. I will not emphasize this any further. No, I will emphasize this further. I will continue to emphasize this further. Drink more water. I don't care how much water you drink more water. Now, in terms of some of my summer favorites that are also really low maintenance, there's some drought tolerant varieties that you can forget to water and it's totally okay. So things like zinnia are one of my favorites. Most of my garden in here, I'm watering actually my vegetable garden in this video right now. So I'm so distracted recording my voiceover that I am forgetting what's actually on the video here. But when you are planting zinnia, it's not only a flower that gives you a ton of blooms throughout the summer through pinching and through just consistent cutting, but they're also really low maintenance. I also love snapdragons. Snapdragons are also very easy and you can get seeds from them very easy. So every year you can take the dead heads of the flowers at the end of the season and you can harvest seeds so that you don't have to even buy seeds anymore. One thing that my husband taught me, well, he's taught me many things about gardening, but one very, very helpful thing that I want to share with you is the benefit of using mulch and not having to deal with as many weeds. So if you use mulch with your flowers, you're going to suppress weeds and it's going to help the soil temperature stay better regulated. And then it's also going to help retain moisture so you don't have to spend as much time tending to the garden as you would if you did not have mulch protecting that soil. Wherever your garden is, even if your garden is just a windowsill with a couple of plants on it, create ritual around that garden. You know, doing that garden routine every morning or every evening, having this thing like you're watching me here in this video with my ritual, and it doesn't look like much and I'm not doing much, but I'm not thinking about much else other than the water on my vegetables. I'm engaging my senses. I'm noticing the colors, the textures, the scents that are around me, and you can do the same. Pay attention to the feeling of the soil in your hands and the warmth of the sun on your skin, and resist the urge to rush through your tasks. Even in this video, you notice that urge to want to see me do something else. Notice that urge to want there to be more happening, where in reality, this is what gardening is. It's slow moments. It's being with the moment, being with the garden and connecting with the earth beneath you. And express gratitude. Take a moment to appreciate the beauty of nature and the abundance in your garden. It can be really frustrating. Right here I'm actually spraying beetles off of our willow tree, and I have these mindful moments I'm creating, and then these mindful moments can get disrupted. But then we just bring it back, and we bring it back, and we feel grateful for the opportunity to nurture a garden and to be nurtured by that garden. So let's just take a moment to visualize you standing in your dream garden, surrounded by greenery and flowers, looking relaxed and happy. Noticing what that feels like. And I hope these summer gardening practices inspire you to create your own peaceful oasis and prioritize your well-being. Gardening is not just about the end result, remember. It's not about whether you have one little potted plant or one full garden. It's about the journey of connecting with nature, setting intentions, nurturing yourself, and finding joy in the simple things. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below sharing your favorite summer gardening tips, and don't forget to subscribe for more art, mental health, and nature-inspired content.